So Josh, Elliott, you're industry veterans. I know that the ARA Show coming up in January in Las Vegas is not going to be your first rodeo by any means, but why should people attend the ARA Show, and what's your advice so that they can gain the most out of that experience?
So actually last year was my first ARA Show.
That was your first rodeo?
That was my first, yeah. Wow, was it an absolute education. I was actually surprised at the amount of educational opportunities, the overall value that it brought, the amount of information you could gather about a ton of different elements within your business. I had a false dichotomy, a false understanding of, I thought I was going to show up and there would be Genie and JLG and JCB and all these equipment guys, and that was it. And then you started realizing that there was software and there was trackers and GPS and every element that played into how to help your business run more efficient. And I guess, I was thinking more the equipment side, and you realize it actually helps you manage your business as a rental house. What do you see when you go to the ARA Show?
So when we were at the ARA Show, for the last 6 years, we would always bring a team out, because it was such an important event for us, for educational reasons, like you said, Elliott. I think for equipment buying, going and looking at, hey, what's new out there? When we're thinking about being more strategic, the categories that we're renting now, what else is coming down the pipe that maybe we're not thinking about? Or, what's the buzz at the ARA Show? What are you hearing from from your rental friends throughout the industry? Because everyone's there. I think that it's the one time of year where, as ARA members, as rental businesses, everyone is under the same roof, and it's amazing what you learn. I mean, you learn a ton from the education days, right?
Yeah, enemies kind of become friends at the ARA Show. Like, everybody realizes we're all here for the same reason, going the same direction.
That's right. And that's one of the things that I appreciate about the industry is there are so many people out there willing to share their experience and willing to help each other, even if you're competitors in some ways.
Yeah.
And you see that from the national companies all the way down to single store independent rental companies. And I think that's so cool and really unique about the rental industry is that you have that camaraderie, and that ability to share information and have information shared back with you. And sure, we're all competing. We're all trying to grow our businesses, but it's about growing the bigger pie. And I think that the ARA Show is a great place, for anyone who is in the industry, especially who, is an equipment rental business to do that.
And Josh, this is a big one for you because the last 6 that you've attended, I saw you running Youth in Rental. You set up this year, and thank you for setting up the Future of Equipment Rental TED Talk format, which I get the honor of speaking at. Thank you for the invite.
I believe you're actually kicking off that whole section.
Thank you.
I don't know who made that decision. It might have been me.
Somebody really smart.
Just give me your home address. I will send you gifts and money. But with all that, I mean, you set up this, you teed it all up.
Yep.
I mean, because it's not just the week before that they make all this. It's almost a year in the making. And it sold out faster than ever. Great job. But you're going to show up, and I hate to say it, but you're going to be an attendee, not a runnie.
Oh, man, I'm so excited. I can't tell you.
What are you going to do with all that extra time?
I don't know, man. I used to think, so this will probably be around my 20th ARA Show, and I used to think I had hard work at the ARA Show. I remember my first project at an ARA Show was picking a lift, and I thought that was really hard because I'd go from one scissor lift to another scissor lift, and everything would change, and they all made it sound like they were better, and it seemed like a really painful decision at the time. And then fast forward a number of years, and I had the opportunity to go as an associate member or a software company serving the rental industry. And I thought that was hard work because now I'm just surrounded by customers, and I was still wrong. And then I went as ARA, and everybody's a customer. And you've been working on this for a year to 20 years, depending on how you're looking at it, because some of this stuff is booked so far in advance. There's a lot riding on it. And everybody around you from sun up till after sundown is a customer who's there, who's trying to build their business, and your job is to support them. So
Amen.
It is going to be comparatively relaxing this year. But I would say from the rental store perspective, for me, it's all about efficiency. I like you, have been to a number of other conventions and conferences, but at least for the US, there's no other rental conference. And
Absolutely.
I want to see the manufacturers that are serving rental. I want to see the software vendors that are serving rental. I want to see the companies that are invested in this industry. ConExpo is really neat. BAMA is very cool. But they're not there to serve rental. The people who were attending those shows to talk to you are not rental-focused people. And I need to make a lot of decisions in a short period of time. And while I may not make all of my buying happen at the ARA show, I make my buying decisions there because that's where I can get everything in one place. That's where I can walk from one booth to another and see something, where I can build relationships, where I can be really effective and efficient at managing that part of my business, the asset, the purchasing part of my business, in addition to the relationships that you get, in addition to the learning. And then I think the other thing that people sometimes miss that actually someone on my team reminded me of just this last week that I had forgotten is the value of the ARA show to somebody who's new to your team. If you have somebody who's up and coming on your team, or a new leader, or anybody from outside of the industry that is trying to learn the industry and that you want to get really excited about the industry, you take them to the ARA show.
That's right.
Because you walk in there, and we saw it with all the students. It's like, it's humongous. You don't expect it. I forget that because I've been here for 20 years. But people who are new to the industry. So if I'm talking about employee engagement, I'm bringing somebody to the ARA show. So for me, it's a lot of those things. So it's the networking relationships, but certainly the efficiency of being able to get that purchasing side done, so I can get back focused on my customers and my staff members. And then learning some of those new things. And then I guess I'll have one other freebie here. I personally like to have something to talk about with customers all the time in my branches.
That's next level.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be something that I've bought yet. But I like to have something that I'm either thinking about buying or something that I've recently bought that we can talk about with our customers. Because I think that there's magic that happens when a customer walks in and you're like, hey, this seems like a problem for you.
That's
and
right.
I'm trying to solve problems for you. Would a product like this be valuable to you? This is the kind of cost. Yeah. This is the kind of needs. This is how it would solve. If I bought something like this for you, would it be valuable and help you build your business? And then I'm also getting that person's information, keeping record of it so I can call them and tell them when it comes in. Or I'm putting it out there in the showroom and I'm saying, hey, I just got this new cool thing that I think is going to solve this problem for you. Let me give you an extra discount to give it a try for the first time because I think it's going to help you make your business better. And guess what? When your business gets better, my business gets better. So that's the other thing I'm thinking about the ARA show is what can I use for my new hook this year?
That's next level thinking. You're thinking 2 moves ahead where most people are like, oh, I'm just thinking what I want to buy. Where you can tell the customer, hey, I'm considering buying this, but I want to be a proper, valuable partner to you, and I want your input on my business decisions. Totally. That creates a completely different type of relationship.
Totally. And how many people do that with a single crew contractor or a landscaper? It happens if you're buying hundreds of millions of dollars of rental equipment every year. But that little person who isn't little to me, when they come in and we get to have that conversation, that's a consultative conversation that doesn't happen very often.
Well, and the one comment that you made earlier, which we said was, how do you compete with the big five? That's how you compete with the big five. Is you personalize that touch where they realize, look, you're part of my business and I'm part of yours. Yeah. Not just that, well, whatever we've got, you either take it or you don't, which that personalized touch, I think, takes it to the next level. What are you trying to get out of the show, John?
Well, what I'm really excited about is our Future of Equipment Rental event to kick off the show on Tuesday, January 28th. It's right at the beginning of ARA Show Week. This is an event that we hosted back in 2023. So this will be the second time that we're hosting this event.
Sold out last time?
Sold out last time. We're expecting a sellout again this time. We're going to get the opportunity to hear Elliott kick off.
There's a lot of other good speakers, though. It is a stacked
lineup. And I want to give credit to Josh because Josh put this lineup together and basically had it teed up before he left.
You're going to look so good.
It's definitely the event I wanted to see.
So no pressure on me, just come in and execute on this world-class event. But no, I couldn't be more excited about it. You talk about the lineup and you talk about how many incredible speakers we have, that are either in the industry or serve the industry or can give a very interesting perspective on what is shaping the industry both in 2025 and for years to come.
Yeah.
We're going to hear from 11 speakers in one day, plus a contractor panel with 4 contractors, of all different sizes that can give us a perspective on what's important to them, how is their world changing, how are job sites changing, and what do they need from rental companies.
That's right.
And so I think we're looking at the future of equipment rental from different angles and from different perspectives and also through different lenses.
Mm-hmm.
Because the future in a lot of ways is here. Like, don't miss it. Because I know that I'm walking into that room and there's a lot happening in our world, in the rental industry, as well as with technology, with different ways of thinking about all of the change that's happening around us, where I want to make sure that I'm not missing what's happening right now. Because, you think about what our world looked like 5 years ago. I mean,
completely different.
It's transformed. It's totally transformed. So,
well, and the other big part that you got to take out of this is if you're going to attend this, I think one of the big things you have to look at is how do we as an entire rental industry, how do we elevate our game? And I hate to say it, but right now is as interest rates have gotten higher, as rates are going back down, as equipment fleet costs are up 30%, is if you're not looking for a way to compete, you're going to get left in the dust. And the industry, the rental industry as a whole, is growing faster than it ever has. And when it grows that much, it attracts attention. And when it attracts attention, big investors and big companies are coming into play. And if we're all going to continue to exist, doesn't matter what size company you are, you better show up to that show and say, hey, am I just here to wander around and say, ooh, that's a pretty blue boom? Or am I here to say, where can I gain a competitive advantage that's going to catapult my company to the next level? And how am I going to ride that wave so that I'm not just hearing a flash in the pan, is that I'm actually bringing it and making it profitable?
You know what I would add to that, though, is we've talked about where the industry is going, whether it's growing, whether it's shrinking, whether we're buying too much equipment, too little equipment in the past. But the thing about something like this is the one thing that could really make an impact on the industry that would benefit all of us is more contractors being comfortable renting versus buying, increased rental penetration. And if we want to make the pie bigger, we've been talking about how to fight for the pie. If we want to make the pie bigger, the industry has to get better, it has to get more data driven, it has to get more digital, it has to get more high quality customer service and consultative. There's a reason companies like Sunbelt are speaking at this event and sharing knowledge, and even in this case, sponsoring the event. There's a reason that large rental companies love that we do something like this, because it elevates everybody's game, and that changes contractor perception. Because what happens is somebody goes to a rental company and has a bad experience, or gets a broken piece of equipment. You know what they think then? Well, I don't need to rent this. I'm just going to own it. That's the better decision for my business. Mm-hmm. Whereas we need to work together to make rental the easy button. We certainly can compete. We can find our own specialties. We can find our own niches. But we need an easy button so that more and more contractors look at us and go, that's the solution.
That should be a big takeaway from the show. You should go to the show and look for an easy button. That's what everyone should go for.
Yep.
I agree with you.
Talk about having a big impact on your business, and your takeaways. So, Josh, what are you most excited about from Future of Equipment Rental? I mean, you mean
aside from Elliott speaking?
You planned this event.
I love you.
You you hooked the big fish, Elliott
Yeah,
Vigil,
it's true.
to headline the sales talks. What I mean, now you're going to be sitting in a different seat than when you were putting this event together. What are you most excited about?
Oh man, I mean, it's hard when I got to design something that I knew that I would love. I remember you and I got to sit recently with April, who is the keynote speaker, and she was talking through the things that she felt like would be impactful for rental, because she essentially has rental experience in her background and sharing economy experience, which is super cool. And she was telling me things, and I started taking notes because I'm like, I need this at Northside, I need this at Northside, I need that, so that, was super exciting to me. Then we've got an AI workshop, which I just love. I think there's so much opportunity for that tool in this industry. We should be using it. I'm amazed. I'm already talking to mechanics who are using it. I saw somebody on the counter using it to write text messages to a customer. Like, it's going to be amazing. And then varied perspectives. Those 9 talks after that, when you're talking about private equity and venture capital and large European rental companies and small local companies and all the experts that we're going to have there, it's perspectives, because I need to find the right tools that I can apply tomorrow, and I can't apply everybody's tools. And oftentimes I can only apply pieces of those. So as much as that I can absorb all at once and then take back to my business and use tomorrow and then plan for in the future, that's where the money's going to be for me.
Hey, great job setting this up.
Thank you.
All podcasts and everything aside, here's the thing. It's a great legacy that you're leaving for everyone to enjoy. And I look forward to seeing you there at the show. But I think it's going to be absolutely epic. You got big shoes to fill.
There's no doubt about that, but I'm excited about it. I'd rather be stepping into those shoes with some momentum, accelerating forward, right? I mean,
compared to it's been a dud. Go ahead.
And I feel that way. I mean, what a great situation to be in.
I think it's going to be an amazing show.
And to be able to come in and work on an exciting event, an event that really is a game changer for the industry as we step into 2025. Kick off the year. I mean, it's in January. It's a little bit earlier this year. So I think it'll give us all a little bit more time coming out of the show, to get our ducks in a row and in order before
Vegas, baby,
before things pick up. So Vegas, pace yourself. So wear comfortable shoes.
Wear very comfortable shoes. Pace yourself. Realize that there is a lot of events that go with it. You don't need to drink to oblivion every night. Realize that the mornings start early, and realize the main reason why you're there. Yes, it is Vegas, but you'd better make sure that you walk away with something that's going to help you or your business in 2025, because otherwise it's a wasted opportunity. And I know people get out to Vegas and they get a little crazy. The company I worked for before, Ahern Equipment, was based in Vegas, and we would bring people out, executives, sales reps, trainees, and we would bring them out, and it was amazing to me how many people got off the rails in Vegas. And you were like, man, you are missing a prime opportunity to really learn at this event and learn in Vegas. I mean, there's a massive amount of knowledge there. Don't let the glitz and glamour of Vegas distract you from what you're there for.
That's right.
I'm actually honestly amazed at the rental people who like to gamble. I mean, because at the end of the day, we're always talking about ROI.
Josh, rental is a gamble.
But it's dollar utilization. It's time utilization.
Right?
It's just a metric. And I know I can go buy that excavator and I can make money on it. I know if I put money into that slot machine, I'm going to lose money on it. Like, this seems obvious to me.
Or we could watch that when we bought a bunch of fleet at Con Expo or at the ARA in January and February of 2020. And then COVID happened. Yeah, if you don't think rental's a gamble, trust me, I'm not surprised at all that everybody loves to gamble. They're all out there and they're like, this is what we do every day. We buy expensive equipment. You said it earlier. You said, I talked to Andrew, and Andrew says, we give somebody a $100,000 piece of equipment on a hope and a prayer and a driver's license, and we hope it'll pan out all right. If that ain't a gamble, I don't know what is.
But I'm the house.
But hey, let me end on this note when it comes to Vegas and gambling. All right.
Yes, sir.
So I think the beautiful thing about the ARA show is that you can go to Vegas, you can have a great time.
Yeah.
Not too great of a time, but have a great time, and you can walk away. Being in business is a gamble. Being in the rental industry is a gamble. But when you're going to the ARA show, you're going to Future of Equipment Rental, you're putting the odds in your favor for once.
Look at
the
that.
odds that you're not going to
He
get
spun that really
at
good.
the craps table or and especially not at the slot machines to go out and make sure that you have a winning ticket in 2025.
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
And I will tell you that if anyone, my wife is custom making, I've got my little cart stickers and stuff. I'm custom making an ARA Vegas 2025 hard hat sticker. I know a lot of people, we all have our hard hats because we go to construction sites or we, need stuff. I'm making a custom sticker. If somebody finds me out on the show floor, come and say hi to me. Come and say hi to any of us, and I will happily give you an ARA Vegas 2025 Elliott sticker for you to add to your hard hat collection so that you can actually say you were at the show, which is kind of fun years down the road.
That is cool.
Yeah,
Limited edition. I got to get one of those, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
We'll think about it.